Welcome to Intimacy Evolution, the podcast that helps you enjoy deeper connection and more intimacy in your relationships. I'm Brianna Carey, relationship and intimacy coach, and together with my husband Mark, a licensed professional counselor, we're here to help couples create the relationships they crave. Relationships evolve over time, and that's okay. Let's talk about it. Hello.
Hi.
We're back. We're going to talk about the intimacy cycle today, which I'm excited about because this has been coming up quite a bit with our coaching clients and with your men's group. Like, this is just like something that is very present right now. And it's kind of something that you've really come up with and noticed and have like kind of brought it all together as far as like, where do we enter this wheel of intimacy?
Yeah.
It's the access point. So, yeah.
Exactly. So when we think about intimacy, I like to break it out to 6 different types of intimacy. So we've talked about this before, but again, it's physical intimacy, so non-sexual touch. We got emotional intimacy, so sharing deep emotions, connection through that. Experiential, so experiencing something together, going on a vacation, doing something.
Yeah, trying something new.
Yeah, that we can tell stories about, and it's unique between us.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual intimacy, so bigger beliefs, dreams, goals, higher power, whatever that looks like, connecting on that. And then intellectual intimacy, which is the sharing of ideas and deep thought. And then last and not least, and often most conflict around, sexual intimacy.
Yeah.
And so if you think about it as a cycle, a circle, and they all lead to one another, if we go out and we have this special time, which is experiential, it's new, it's different for us.
Or just date night, too.
Yes.
I mean, just experiencing something together.
Correct. And then we start talking and we share ideas and thoughts, or we dream, and it just kind of leads to all these different types.
Mm-hmm.
Much like physical intimacy, I can give massages, and then afterwards say, how did that make you feel? We could connect emotionally, and it's like one type of intimacy often leads to other types. So the question is, each person, how do they start that cycle? Because where they want to jump in on that cycle might not be the same.
Yeah. And I think that's the part we hear a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything else in our life is really great except for sex. We have a really hard time talking about it, getting on the same page with it, how often we each want to have it. And it's like, okay, yes, and that means that you're not getting fulfillment in one of those other areas that is going to help you ride that cycle into that sexual intimacy.
Yeah, or the other complaint is that mainly men want to jump right into physical sexual intimacy, and that's not the entrance point of their partner.
Right.
To get onto that cycle, right? And so, and vice versa. I mean, if you had an intimacy type that I connected with, but it wasn't like something that led me to sex, for instance, then it'd be the same kind of stumbling block.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's very similar to like the 5 love languages, right? Like, we show love in a way that we want to receive love. And so same here, that level of intimacy that you feel really connected to your partner with is often what you're going to lead with, but what does your partner actually want to receive? Yeah. And so having a discussion around this, like what fills you up, what makes you feel the most connected, and then figuring out how you can. Yeah.
Definitely. And I think what we find with clients so often is they don't so sex can be sexual intimacy. It doesn't have to be, because talking about sex can be very emotional. It can be emotionally connecting. It could be even thought-provoking. It could be all these other types of intimacy wrapped up in that. And so what we find in a lot of our clients is that they're not talking about sex enough, or they're not imagining, or they're not engaging in sex except in the sexual act, in the bedroom. It's like, well, that's part of the issues. We got to bring sex outside of the bedroom and start That doesn't mean having sex on the counter. You can do that if you
You can
want.
also do that.
Yes. And it's about having more and more conversations around it, feeling more and more comfortable with it.
Right. Yes. This piece right here, feeling more comfortable with it. So I'm also a support coach for another program through the Libido Fairy. Amazing stuff. Go check her out on Instagram. But what I hear a lot from the women is that we're great everywhere in our relationship, but it's really hard to talk about sex. We don't talk about sex, and it's very uncomfortable. It's very vulnerable. And again, whatever your childhood, life experience, whatever stories were told to you that forms your belief around sex, right? And we're not educated about it. So it can be very uncomfortable to talk about because society still says it's a very taboo topic. And so we're not taught how to have these conversations with our partner. So a lot of times it just gets pushed aside. And then we're wondering why we're having such a challenging time being physically intimate, having sex, because we're not talking about it. So, like you said, bringing the conversation out of the bedroom where it almost helps to alleviate any sort of pressure. Because if you're in the bedroom talking about it, a lot of times, again, women perceive that that means that their partner is expecting to have sex then instead of it just being a conversation. So be on the couch, be in a very neutral, like emotional state to start these conversations.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel that. If we're in bed and Bree's like, hey, let's talk about sex. And I'm like, yes, please. And so we have to set each other up in a way that's going to lead to success. And I hear that often too on the men's side is like, you know, my partner believes that everything will turn to sex. And it's like, how did they get that story? Well, oftentimes they took a couple examples of maybe how that happened. They added stories from maybe growing up. All that men want is sex, or some story that's like totally dysfunctional. And they add those together, and now it's like every time that he touches me, that's a sexual advance. Well, maybe it's not. Let's break that apart to the physical intimacy side. And let's have more conversations around how do we both get on this intimacy cycle.
Yeah, that's so good. And as you were saying all of that, I was thinking just again, the women that I work with in this program, our couples clients that we work with, a lot of time it is that the partner, male partner, tries to give physical affection and the women withdraw instantly and lock up. And if you've ever experienced this, you kind of like brace yourself. You're like, oh no, like they want something from me. So how can we start to relax? Again, it's a conversation, but start saying, the story I'm telling myself is when you come up and you touch me, that is your way of initiating or saying that you want to have sex. And let your partner tell you if it's true or not. And a lot of times they're going to be like, no, I love you and I saw you and I wanted to give you some physical affection. A lot of times, again, generalizing, but guys that their access point is the sexual intimacy, they oftentimes their love language is physical touch. So you can see how those kind of go together. It's like, I'm just showing you love, right? And so starting there is like the story I'm telling myself is, and then that's going to help you relax. So then the next time he comes up and pats your butt or gives you a hug or embraces you, you can pause, take a deep breath and relax into that and receive that affection and feel that safety dropping into your body. And thank you, this feels nice. Now, if they do say, hey, are you open to having sex later? Another thing I would like to invite you to phrase is, I'm not available for sex right now. But if they're saying, do you want to have it later? You can be like, don't immediately shut them down. Say, no, I've got so many things to do. Sit with it. Be like, you know what? I don't know yet. I'm not a no. Let me think on it. And I think we just automatically go to the defensive.
And for partners that have approached and asked if your partner's open for sex, and let's say they say, I don't know, or let's say they say no, also don't withdraw on your end.
Yes.
Don't pull away. Don't go do something else. Go ahead and ask the follow-up question of, okay, well, I want to connect with you. What else are you open to? Right? Stay in it. Because that's what we hear, both sides of that. the person asking and the other person like saying no and withdrawing, or person asking, withdrawing. And it's like, stay together. You're in this together.
Right. Yes, I love that. Okay, what are you available for? Would you like to discuss some other options? And it could be, let's have a bubble bath and then we can do a massage. And so you're still connecting intimately through that physical and emotional connection. And the partner can do some check-ins with herself. Let her come to you in some of those situations. If she's like, I'm not sure, let her open up and say, because again, if you keep saying, how is this? Or there's that underlying expectation of like, now I can't relax and be in this moment. So let that be the experience.
If you feel like you're giving the space for your partner to open up, there could be a number of stuff going on here. So it could be that there's a pattern that when you try something new, you give them space to open up and come to you. They don't know what to do with it. It could be that they don't feel safe inside themselves to do that. There's a number of things. So if you're like, hey, I'm trying this thing and I'm connecting on these other intimacy points and it's still not quite working the way I'd like it to, it's like, okay, well, dive deeper, talk about it. Ask the question like, hey, I'm making these adjustments because I want this to be easier for us, not I'm making these adjustments so you have sex with me.
Right.
That's more of a manipulation energy behind it. It's I'm making these adjustments so that we can both feel desire and we can do this connection and make it easier for us. What are you feeling? What's happening? What can we do more of? How can we do this?
Yeah. Yeah. How are you feeling with the changes? Yeah. Just again, keeping an open dialogue is key. When you start to feel some resistance, that's your invitation to do that thing more.
Yeah. That resistance, at least for me, is where I'm pushing my uncomfortability in a good way. Like I'm growing, as long as it's aligned with what I want. It's not saying push your resistance to something you really don't want anyways. I'm not saying that. It's when the resistance comes and it's like, oh, this feels good. I want to do this, but it's hard right now.
Yeah. What I also see come up a lot is the resistance comes up because of all of the background of like not talking about where you guys are and not wanting to feel pushy or needy or put their partner in an uncomfortable position. But what they're doing is suppressing their desires. And so that resistance is speaking to you, be like, okay, really tap in. What is my desire here? How can I speak that to my partner from a truly aligned place, not a needy, baggy, whiny space? You know what I mean? And if you've experienced this, you understand like the energy that I'm talking about. And so sometimes you do have to sit with it. Be like, okay, I'm frustrated. We haven't had sex in a while, or I'm not feeling connected or whatever. Okay. So a lot of times, like we haven't had sex. I miss my partner. I'm not feeling connected to my partner. Okay. Let's jump in on that wheel of intimacy and access it in a different way for right now. That can potentially lead to that sexual connection. And so, yeah, what's your desire? Okay. So usually it's connection. You miss them. Talk about that.
Yeah. Then the idea from there would be to make a plan to create a space for connection. So it's I miss you, let's take a walk together. I miss you, let's have a date night. I miss you, let's do this. You guys are on the same team. You're on the same page. You're wanting things, and everything you want is okay. Yeah. And if you guys can make that happen together, great. If you can't, then there's some more conversation around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just think about those entrance points on how do we get onto this connection? Where do I like to kind of move towards it, and what's easiest for me? Or sometimes it's what's most accessible, depending on our kids and this and other stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say along what you're saying is we can start to get in our head about like, oh my gosh, connection is just going to take so much time. And we start to create a story that it's got to be this whole 4-hour experience when the connection is literally like a couple of songs dancing in the kitchen.
Yeah, it could be one song, what, 5 minutes?
Yeah,
5 minutes or
3 to 5
less.
minutes. You connect, you hold each other, you be silly, go for a walk. It can be talking about a book or a podcast, right? Like, oh my gosh, can I drop in with you and share this really cool thing that I heard? It doesn't have to take much time, and those micro moments of connection really add up and actually is what fuels the relationship. And so being intentional with finding those pockets of time together.
Yeah, we know the big pockets of time, the intentional date night or vacation or this and that, and those are great to look forward to. But what are the little ones that are in between? And even just 6 seconds, 6 second kiss.
Yeah.
It releases all these hormones in your brain that,
Oxytocin, the bonding hormone.
yeah, and it feels good. So literally, it could be 6 seconds to create connection.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a physical, right? If we're looking at a wheel, that's a physical connection, physical intimacy. So yeah, it could be as little as 6 seconds.
And then again, being intentional with that. So if, one partner works outside of the home, kissing each other for 6 seconds before they leave. Kiss each other for 6 seconds when you get home to reestablish connection. Don't start jumping into like, oh my gosh, you'll never believe what happened today, and blah, 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 blah. Let them come home, receive, connect, and then jump into that if that's what you want. But
yeah, I love that. I think there's some aspects of what we're talking about that I noticed with our kids too, is the bracing of them wanting our attention. I can feel that sometimes. Come up to me and think, oh boy. My child wants, the next 20 minutes of my time to tell one story. And that's the story I'm telling myself, at least. Sometimes it's true, and a lot of times it's not. And so those bids of connection, see what comes up. When somebody's bidding for your connection or attempting to get your attention, what comes up in yourself? Yeah. And how can you do that better?
Yeah. What I find for myself is when I'm really agitated with anybody, it's usually because I'm maxed out. I didn't resource myself enough. I'm at capacity and need to do something. I need to go for a walk. I need to decompress and have 5 minutes to just shift the energy from work day to family time, being mom, being wife. So I really notice that a lot. I just haven't had that time to mentally and energetically shift where I'm at. Yeah.
That's great.
So that's what we wanted to share about the Wheel of Intimacy. We'll definitely post like what that looks like and some resources for it if you want to look more into that. But I definitely want to let you guys know again that we have our Sacred Union Couples Retreat coming up July 17th through the 20th. It is limited to 6 couples. It is going to be in beautiful Bentonville, Arkansas. It is going to be an incredible experience. Yeah. So if you are looking for deeper connection, if you're feeling anything we talked about, you're like, we're doing great, but like we would like to go deeper. We want more connection. We want to learn how to navigate conflict, have conversations better, how to embrace the masculine, feminine energy. Again, women that are like holding all of the things all the time. How do I release that so that I can be in my feminine, my flowy, to receive my partner and connect with him deeper? We've got a guest facilitator that's going to come in and do some fun stuff, sound bath, and another extra super yummy experience that is going to be a surprise for when you get there. But if you are interested, we'll have the link below in the show notes. Check it out. It is going to be on intimacyevolution.com/sacred union retreat. So you can check that out. Reach out to us on Instagram. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer all of them. And hopefully we'll see some of you there.
Alrighty.
All right. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye.